I found her picture on a Tuesday night. He was in the shower. I was looking for a pen in his desk drawer, and there she was. A small picture, old, a little worn at the edges. She was beautiful, really beautiful, not in a big way, just naturally, quietly beautiful. I turned the picture over. On the back, someone had written 2 words, "My person."
His writing. I put the picture back exactly where I found it. I went to bed before he came out of the shower. I lay there in the dark and thought, how long has she been in that drawer? Then a worse thought came. How long has she been in his heart? That was the night everything changed. My name is Sandra. I married Daniel 4 years ago. We met through our families. It was not an arranged marriage exactly, but our parents knew each other. They pushed us together a little.
He was kind, quiet, responsible. He did not talk much, but when he did, he was thoughtful. I liked that about him. Our first date was simple. Coffee, a walk, nothing special, but I remember thinking, this man is safe. After everything I had been through before, safe felt good. We dated for 8 months. Then he proposed. It was not a big romantic moment. He just said, "I think we should build something together, if you want that too." I said yes. I thought that was his way of loving. Calm, steady, quiet. I did not know then that his quiet had a reason. The signs were always there. I just didn't want to see them. On our wedding day, I caught him staring at nothing during the reception. Not at me, not at our guests, just somewhere far away. His sister touched his arm. He came back. He smiled. He danced with me. But that moment stayed in my mind.
Then, in our first year, I noticed the date. Every year on March 14th, he was different, quieter than usual, a little sad. I asked him once, "Are you okay? You seem far away today." He said, "I'm fine, just tired." I believed him the first time. The second time, I started to wonder. The third time, I stopped asking. I just watched him carry whatever it was alone. We had a good life. I want to be honest about that. He was a good husband. He came home every night. He fixed things when they broke. He remembered how I liked my coffee. He held my hand when I was sick. But there was always a small distance, like a glass wall between us. I could see him clearly. I just couldn't always reach him. I told myself that was just his personality. Some people are like that, warm but guarded, present but private. I made peace with it, or I thought I did, until the photo. After that Tuesday night, I couldn't stop thinking. I didn't touch the drawer again, but I thought about that photo every day. My person, those 2 words. I was his wife. So what was she? I started paying closer attention to the way he looked when old songs played, the way he sometimes paused mid-sentence, like he caught himself before saying something. I wasn't angry yet. I was just watching, collecting small pieces, trying to understand a puzzle I wasn't sure I wanted to solve. One evening, I asked him casually, "Did you ever almost get married before me?" He looked at me for a second too long. Then he said, "No, Why? I said, "Just curious." He nodded and went back to his food, but his hand had stopped moving. He had paused, and that pause told me everything. His sister Maya came to visit. That spring, Maya and I were close. She was warm, funny, easy to talk to. We were in the kitchen one afternoon. Daniel was at work. We were just talking, laughing. Then she said something small, almost by accident. "You know, you're so much more patient with him than most people would be, especially knowing everything." I smiled, but inside I froze. Knowing everything? I looked at her carefully. "What do you mean?" Her face changed. She realized what she had said. "Oh, I just mean he's not easy. He's private. You handle it well." She moved the conversation quickly, but it was too late. I had seen her face before she covered it. She knew something she thought I already knew. I waited 2 days. Then I called Maya when I knew Daniel was busy. I did not make it dramatic. I just said, "Maya, I need you to tell me about her. The woman in his drawer." Silence. Long silence. Then she said, "He never told you." It was not a question. "No," I said. "He never told me." She was quiet for a moment. Then she talked. Her name was Claire. They had been together 3 years before I met Daniel. They were serious. Everyone expected them to marry. But Claire got sick. Very sick. She passed away 14 months before Daniel and I had our first coffee date. Maya said Daniel was not okay for a long time after. He shut down. He pulled away from everyone. Then their families started pushing him to move forward, to meet someone new. And he met me. I sat with the phone in my hand. I did not cry. I just sat there thinking. I was not his beginning. I was his attempt to survive. I want to be honest about what I felt. I was not angry at Claire. How could I be? She did not choose to leave. She was gone before I even knew Daniel existed. But I was angry at him. Not because he loved her, but because he never told me. 4 years he let me believe I was his choice. A real, full choice. Not a second step. Not a door he opened because the first one closed forever. I walked around our house that evening, looking at everything. The couch we picked together, the photos on the wall, the coffee mugs. Was any of this real? Or was I just helping him fill a space that would never really be filled? I thought about leaving. I will not lie. I thought about packing a bag and going to my mother's house. But I did not. I sat at the kitchen table and waited for him to come home. When he walked in, he saw my face. He stopped at the door. "Sandra?" I looked at him. "Tell me about Claire," I said. The room went very quiet. He put his keys down slowly. He sat across from me, and for the first time in 4 years, he did not look guarded. He looked tired, like a man who had been carrying something heavy for too long. "Who told?" "You?" he asked. "Does it matter?" He looked down. "No," he said. "I guess it doesn't." He talked for a long time. He told me about Claire,
how they met, how she laughed, how she got sick, slowly, then fast. He told me about the 14 months after she died, how he barely got out of bed some days, how his family worried, how they pushed him to start living again. He told me about our first date. I was not ready, he said, but I was so tired of being alone with all of it. I listened. I did not interrupt. When he stopped, I asked the question that mattered most. Did you ever love me? Or were you just trying to move on? He looked at me, really looked at me. At first, I was trying to move forward. Yes, I won't lie to you about that.
My chest hurt. But Sandra, he said, his voice lower now, that changed somewhere. It changed. What I feel for you is real. It is not the same as what I felt for her, but it is real. Not the same. Those words stayed with me. I understood what he meant. Every love is different. A second love does not cancel the first. But it still hurt because I wanted to be his whole story, not his chapter 2. I told him that. I said, I needed to be your choice, not your next step. He said, you are my choice. Every day I stay, that is a choice. But you hid her from me. I said, I know. He said, I was afraid. I thought if I told you, you would see me as broken, and I did not want to lose you.
I looked at him. This man who had carried grief in silence for years, who loved someone deeply, lost her, and then tried to live again. He was not a bad man. He was just a broken one, who did not know how to ask for help carrying it. I did not make a decision that night. I told him I needed time. He respected that. For 2 weeks we moved around each other carefully, quiet, polite, gentle, like 2 people holding something fragile between them. I thought a lot during those 2 weeks about love, about choice, about what marriage really means. I thought about Claire, a woman I never met, a woman who loved the same man I loved, a woman who never got to grow old. I felt sad for her. And strangely, I felt something close to grateful. Because she had shaped him into someone capable of deep love. And that man, that deeply loving, deeply wounded man, had chosen to stay with me. One evening, about 3 weeks later, I went to his drawer. I took out the photo. I looked at her again. Then I walked to him in the living room. I put the photo on the table between us. He looked at it, then at me. You don't have to hide her, I said. She was part of your life. I can live with that. He picked up the photo. His eyes were wet. Thank you, he said quietly. I nodded. I sat next to him, and we were quiet together. I learned something that year. Love is not always a clean start. Sometimes you love someone who arrived at love already carrying something heavy.
That does not make their love for you less real. It just means you have to decide, can I love this person as they are, not as I wished they were? He was not a perfect husband, but he was mine, and I chose eyes open this time to stay. She was the bride he lost.
I was the bride he kept, and in the end, being kept by someone who had every reason to close his heart, that meant everything. Thank you for listening to this story. If it touched your heart, please like the video, share it, and subscribe to the Story Reading in English channel. Your support helps more stories reach people like you. With every story, our English gets better and our hearts get stronger.